I'll spend about 10 minutes to talk about something you need to know, and I'll let you work on your projects individually, and I'll be here to help you. So the first one, because this is the first time I teach this microcontroller class, it's being offered in the department as well. It's the first time ever. So I don't know how well can you do your PCB, but I think it turns out really good. So I created a rubric for grading. So the library report, including everything. So your figures, your descriptions, and everything. Library report, 30%. And design file, your schematic, your PCB layout, 40%. And the PCB soldering and functionality, 30%. So the PCB is right now in Hong Kong. Will be here probably in 3 days. So maybe next week, next Monday, or I don't know. We'll find out time to let you work in the lab to solder all the parts to the PCB and test it. Okay. So I can give you that 30% for homework 1. So that's why I haven't graded your homework 1 yet. If you look at here, the grades. So I assigned everyone a random ID. And you can see that for homework 2 has been graded. Homework 1 has not. So that's where you can check your grade. If you don't know which ID belongs to you, let me know. You just look at which row, you got 100 this time, and next time you got 90. So you know that row belongs to you, so you know that ID is yours, right? So just remember that. And I'm sending your graded report back in the email. So if you forget what's the grade you got in that specific homework assignment, just check your email. So you should be able to know which row belongs to you, okay, pretty easily. That's for homework 1. And I'm planning on have a quiz next Monday. It's a quiz, but it's a relatively long quiz, 55 minutes, like exam. I will give you an example pool about what I'm going to put on the quiz. I will take maybe 50% of the problem in the pool on the quiz, so you can prepare accordingly. So I'm still working on that. It's not done yet. So for example, close book, close notes, okay? So these ones, right, just do a search. I know I haven't covered that, but it's pretty easy to find out the answer. So for the first one, what's the maximum amount of current for any Arduino pin? 200 milliamps. Okay. It's kind of important to know, because if you have a really heavy load sensor and you don't know how much current your Arduino can handle, if it's drawing like 500 milliamps from Arduino, it's very likely will reduce the lifespan or even burn it down. Right? So things like this and some basic information. What is GPIO? Since you'll see GPIO in everywhere, not just for Arduino, but also for the MSPs, for the ST32s. It's just everywhere. It's general purpose I/O, input output pin. So what is IDE, right? Something like this. And I will have maybe 40, 50 questions like this, cover all the fundamental things you need to know. And I'll just take 20 of them on the quiz or exam. And also there will be, pay attention, okay? Won't be all these simple questions. So there will be a programming question, and make sure you bring your Arduino board over on Monday next week. So I will give you some, I haven't designed that yet, so I'm gonna think about what is the appropriate programming question during the exam. It won't beyond the difficulty level of your homework. For group 1, the first 3 homework assignments, right? For group 2, you have been working on this kind of thing for a while, so it should be doable. Any questions? No? Okay. And let's take a look for the plan for this week. So for group 1, we don't have lectures to cover anything on Monday, actually today. But you do have your homework 3 or 2? 3, right? Due this Wednesday. Okay. And we'll have a new lecture on Wednesday to cover this tutorial, which is for homework 4 for group 1, LCDs and sensors. A lot of really critical technique will be covered in there. So make sure to come over so you can ask questions during the lecture. And so this homework will last for 2 weeks. And it is due October the 7th. And then we'll start another tutorial on Wednesday. Okay. For group 2, this Friday, so just still keep working on your homework 2. And on Friday, we'll have a discussion on homework 2, some of the details or expectations. Because it's a little bit open topic, we just probably want to brainstorm on how do we want to design the final customizable Wi-Fi setup, right? And let's take a look at that really quick. So there's one problem I can imagine, because most of you guys are in the robotics 2 class as well, but you only have 2 microcontrollers and 1 breadboard, right? How do you want to manage this? You probably want to get one done first and then disassemble everything and start another one, right? So don't have a lot of time actually. It seems like you have 4 weeks, but you have another project for robotics 2 as well. So get one done, pick up an easier one for you and get it done first, and then focus on the other one. So you don't have to, dismantle everything, for another homework assignment. Few other things, let me take a look. So for this specific project, you know how to, normally I was telling you the strategy to work on a relatively comprehensive project, take all these baby steps. So it's what I did in the tutorial actually. So you get the communication between one microcontroller to the OLED display first, and then add the temperature sensor to it, right? Just one step by one step. And then just use another microcontroller to communicate with this Wi-Fi module. If that works, then merge these 2 parts together to see if that works. If you see any problems, you have to disconnect something and debug one part first, and then connect it back. Things like this. Okay, I think that's it, what I want to talk about today. All right, you can start working on your stuff. Ask questions as well.